high school students. You'd have thought Gilroy was our mother, the way she hounded me and Mac to take the class. I guess we were doing considerably better than most of our classmates, but geez. At any rate, Mac and I decided it couldn't hurt to develop our problem-solving and logic skills for our detective work. So that's how we ended up at the ivy-covered campus of Columbia every Wednesday afternoon that fall, from 4 to 6 p.m. Mackenzie and I were no slouches at Westside, which is a pretty demanding school, but we weren't quite prepared for the variety of freaks, kooks, and eccentric geniuses who'd signed up for our new class. And believe me, we'd already met our fair share of weirdos at our school. In fact, some of them had signed up along with us. Myrna Zareski, for example. She'd gotten a 1590 on her SATs in 9th grade, then swallowed a whole bottle of aspirin because she'd missed one question. She was better now, but that was only after a whole lot of expensive therapy. Then there was Martin Hong Lee. When Westside's board was going to hire a consultant and pay him $100,000 to set up a whole new computer network, Martin had walked into the office and told the principal he'd already done it in his spare time for fun and gave it to the school free of charge. For Myrna and Marty, this class was pretty much a piece of cake, just another notch on their belts on the way to MIT, Stanford, Harvard, or Yale. But neither Myrna nor Marty was even among the top 10 wackiest ducks in our class at Columbia. There was some pretty stiff competition for that dubious honor, believe me. Speaking of students under strain, I said, how about Bernadette Lello? It's a shame, the way that poor kid's being exploited. Bernadette, or Bernie as everyone called her, was only 11 years old. She was definitely the Columbia Group's resident genius, although Professor Dunaway seemed to have her doubts. Her dad, who was also her manager and agent, had gotten Bernie on a few TV and radio talk shows. Heck, he'd even had a creepy girl genius website featuring her as a pint-sized environmental crusader created for her, and promoted it every chance he got. Really, Mac said, she needs to get a life, and her dad needs to take a chill pill. Do you think she has any friends at all? Beats me, I said, shrugging. I don't see how she could have. I'll tell you, though, for sheer stress and strain, I think Gabby Zuhl takes the cake. I had to admit that Gabby was a truly strange brain, even among the kookaloonie birds who had flocked to the class. She had hair like wet linguine and a personality to match. According to Mac, Gabby looked as if she went out of her way to pick styles of dresses made from chicken feed bags. I thought they went well with her weird, thin lips. Myrna says her hobby is medieval weaponry. No kidding. Apparently she's got quite a collection of curiosities at home. Well, I can believe it, I said. I mean, have you checked out those NRA buttons she wears to class? Guns don't kill people, people kill people? Cheery thought, right? It might help if she smiled once in a while, Mackenzie said, shaking her head. There were plenty of other pubescent oddities in the class, but I'll get around to them later. First, I've got to tell you what happened that day in the park, because looking back on it, it was our first indication that something bad was about to happen. So, we were sitting there, gossiping about our dorky classmates and the pressure we were all under, when we spotted our calculus professor for the Columbia course, Professor Dunaway, on the other side of the pond. If there was ever a teacher who put pressure on her students, it was Eva Marie Dunaway. She never missed an opportunity to make a cruel comment about a student. All of us had felt her sting, even little Bernie Lello. For some reason, it really seemed to stick in Dunaway's craw that Bernie was so smart. Maybe it bothered her that Bernie figured out the answers to nearly all the problems she set without writing anything down. Dunaway tortured the poor kid with constant snide comments. But then, that was her style with everybody. A couple of times, even I wanted to get up and strangle her in front of the whole class. I don't think there was a kid in the room who didn't feel that way at one time or another. And now, here she was, walking in our direction. Hey, Mac said, nudging me, do you see what I see? It's Pythagoras in a wig, all right, I replied. And who's that guy she's with? I don't know, but they look awfully cozy, don't they? They sure do.